Alright, what's going on, guys? Slim back here with what you guys actually wanted to see, and that's my Remote Duel YCS deck profile. Before I get into it, I just got to give a huge shout out, of course, to YBM. That's actually where I ended up playing the Remote Duel YCS set. It was awesome. You know, shout out to you, Dio. Shout out to Karan. Shout out to all the guys there. They made amazing setups for us. I have a picture here for you guys to see. I'm sure you guys saw it over on Facebook, on my social medias. It was just awesome. The setup was amazing, and just getting to play it in the shop was just amazing experience. Being able to have my friends around me and everything was just awesome. And unlike the majority of people who really didn't have anything great to say about the Remote YCS, I actually, on the opposite end, can say I had a great experience, was very blessed to play it in the shop, and I would definitely do it again if it were to come up. With that being said, though, y'all wanted to know what I played, and yeah, full helmet mode again, and everyone was asking why. Reason is, I wanted a simple deck. I honestly want to hope this was the only Remote YCS that we will have. I would hope that in real life events will start up again as on the bigger tournaments, you know, circuit and whatnot. And I just wanted to play a simple deck. Trust me, I wanted to play Mech Knights. I wanted to do something like that. I give Shannon Long all the credit in the world, and anybody who plays column-based decks in remote duels. I've said it a million times, there's just so many issues. If your opponent isn't using a zoned mat, there's issues with the column placement. It comes down to a he said, she said BS battle that I just don't have time for. I wanted to play a simple deck, so I strapped on my helmet and I played an updated build of Guru. I want to shout out my boy Jeremy Ortiz, my boy Ryan Gaskins. They're always the ones that give me advice on this deck. Now, the deck was fine. Was it amazing? No. Would I play it again? Probably not. You guys probably be surprised. Like, probably not. There were a lot of things I liked about it. There were a lot of things I didn't like about it. But anyways, I babbled enough. You guys already know. Subscribe, like button, all this stuff. TCG player link, etc., etc. We'll get into it. I'll just show you guys what I played. This is the updated build. Hopefully, you guys just fast forwarded to this part. So, here was what I decided to play. I died round 7. A lot of us died round 7. A lot of content creators. But yo, shout out to Tombox. Shout out to my little brother Blade for making top 32, and then my brother Blade for making top 16. I thought that was freaking awesome. So yeah, shout out to them. Anyways, the stuff is pretty standard, but for the monsters, for the Subterra monsters, I only ran Guru and Fiendus. I actually cut the Nemesis Archer. Now, everyone's gonna probably be like, why? Honestly, the card just never really came up. Yes, it gives you another card to search off Guru. Yes, it can be good to like search a Guru if you don't have one, basically. But a lot of times, believe it or not, in the 7 rounds I did play, I never booked a single monster, not even once. I never booked a single monster. It just didn't come up. Dragoon kind of just took the wheel. Guru was just there as like the backup engine, to be honest. Going forward, I probably would play Nemesis Archer in like a more like hand trap based build. It's decent to have, especially if you play more Subterra cards. But yeah, no, this was all I needed, and I honestly never missed the Archer the whole tournament. And then of course the hidden cities and the final battles. That's all standard. Like I said, in the future maybe we'll just play a copy of Nemesis Archer. Being able to recruit Guru is good when you have nothing else, but in this format I just felt like the card wasn't as strong, so it was better at the local I played. But again, it was just, you know, different circumstances, but just for me personally, I never missed it. So to each his own. And then of course the the Dragoon package, you have to play the Red Ice Fusions and the Vanillas. Still common, not trying to draw these. Drew him a decent amount, but it was fine. Red Ice Fusion did its thing. You guys already know Dragoon is a busted card. That's why we play it. The card literally just can run a lot of the format by itself. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, the worst performing card in my deck was D-Shifter. Oh my gosh, I never opened with it, and the one time I opened with it against Drytron in Game 3, he had Called by the Grave. Literally activated Shifter, he had Called by a full combo. Literally, yeah. I know this card is really good in this deck. My gripe with it though is it does turn off Fiendus, and I do not like that. However, a lot of times it gives you the whole turn. It didn't perform well for me at all, but that's just me, so it is what it is. Fun fact, I actually won a Winamat with this deck the following day on Sunday. I just played it at home, and I lost game 1 in the finals really fast because at past turn 1, I activated Red Ice Fusion, it got ashed, and then 3 turns in a row I drew 3 Shifter, and yeah, that was all she wrote. So I don't know, I have a really weird love-hate relationship with the card, so it's hard to say, but I know the card is good in certain decks. Of course, I still played the 5 pots. This is just standard. These were great. Yeah, Prosperity is just the best pot card ever printed, and Duality is the best one to go with it. Some people like Extrav. I just prefer Prosperity. I want to dig 6. I know you get that plus off of Extrav, but I want to dig and, you know, just piece my deck together. And then, of course, we played the Call By because I actually wasn't playing this before, and that's just dumb on my part, but this card was literally just there to catch any hand trap that gets in our way, plus it becomes another interruption by itself. Here's the part of the deck I know everyone hates, you know, just tighten your helmet real quick because it is what it is. This time we did 2 copies of Mystic Mine and the Necro Valley. This was the best freaking card of my deck. It's not even up for debate. Shout out to GKs after all these years. Man, the Necro Valley was the stones. This card single-handedly won me my match against Salamangreat. It single-handedly helped me against Tri-Brigade. This card was just ridiculous. Like, this card was so freaking good. Like, honestly, like, I know I'd never probably play a second one, but man, did this card perform well for me. And I'm telling you, if you're playing this deck, if you got room for an extra field spell, this is the one to play, because my gosh, did this card perform. Like, it just shuts off the whole graveyard. It's crazy. Mystic Mine was like whatever, to be honest. I used it, obviously. I felt like the way to build this deck was to have a lot of field spells, because bait negates put mine on the board. A lot of times the opponent can't play, and you know, I'm not trying to sit here for 20 minutes, watch them combo, or watch them, you know, do all the self-touch stuff, and then literally you lose to Mystic Mine, you lose to Mystic Mine, and get on about my day. So that's what it was. But you guys already know the terraforming and the set rotation are there, but we went really a lot further. This was all my boy Jeremy's idea, but we played 2 Demise of the Land and the Metaverse. So you may be thinking, what is like the point of this when Hidden City, if you guys don't know, Hidden City doesn't work if you activate it through these effects. It was never for that. It was always, for me, it was always Necro Valley. It was always Necro Valley. Being able to, in the middle of my opponent's combo, put a Necro Valley on the board, especially when so many decks are graveyard dependent, that alone was game ending. It was so powerful. And yes, I could do Mystic Mine. I did do it a couple times. There's a picture. I'll even flash it right here. Yeah. Slim went full helmet mode, you guys already know, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. It was enough to win, and that was like the main thing. And yeah, this was great for Necro Valley and to an extent Mystic Mine, but again, I was never trying to make Mystic Mine my win condition. I didn't need it to be a win condition when I have Dragoon. So we played the whole field spell package. Obviously it needs to keep being tested in the format now that the format's more established, but I did like this. It did work out pretty well. And shout out to my boy Dio for giving me the secret Metaverse. I really wanted to get that, as I know it's from the Speed Duel. I was just super happy to have it. And then similar to last time, we play all the no's, the 6 no's. These cards are just insane. Yeah, these cards are insane. Strike is just amazing. And then, of course, Summon Limit. This card, whew. This card, like, I mean, like I said, there can only be one. Did not perform that well for me in previous testing. Probably revisit it again now that we're seeing more Salad, more other decks that could potentially lose. But Summon Limit was insane. Obviously, going second Summon Limit sucks, but you know, you run that risk when you run a control deck like this. But that is it for the main deck. This time we played 42 cards. Shout out to my brother Jerry, his favorite number. We played 42. Would I play 40 in the future? Probably. I'll probably find a way to shave the deck down. But again, I'm not trying to draw my vanillas, and to be honest, I didn't draw them that much. So maybe 42 was the answer we were looking for all along. To the extra deck, the only thing that mattered was Dragoon. I literally would banish a copy off Prosperity anyway, but I always wanted to have the second copy. This was just the Waking the Dragon targets. Yeah, they're all fine. I never summoned Last Warrior. There probably was a time I probably should have. Instead, I think I summoned Megaclops, and I mean, it was decent, but I always worry of summoning this because all the opponent has to do is imperm this, and then, you know, they get to play. So it's still in there, though. It's still pretty strong. I know some players, I know there was a Guru player that made Day 2 and I think made top 32 cuts, so shout out to you. I know he played Exterio. I just honestly didn't test it, but I'm sure that card is good in theory. So that was like all the Waking targets, and of course Dragoon, and then Entis, and then that's for Dogmatica, and this is also for Dogmatica Maximus if it ever came up. Played 0, so it never came up, but they were in there just to have, you know, just always be prepared. Better to have it than not have it. Striker Dragon, unfortunately the combo never came up. I honestly drew Red Ice Fusion a lot. Anima, just for the Link 1s if it would ever come up. Link Krivo didn't play any dinos, but we were prepared. Verde if it came up for, you know, 2 monsters, or for the Striker combo, just never came up. And then Phoenix if it came up, and Unicorn if it ever came up, but none of these cards ever came up. So that is it for the extra deck, and I'll just show you guys the side real quick. Side was very straightforward. It was just 3 Nibiru and 3 Droll, combo decks, Drytron. Yeah, I mean, that's just standard. Most people would be against Droll in Subterror, but Droll is so impactful this format. You just need to get the turn back to you because you can set your traps and you can control the game from there. We're not trying to OTK, obviously. Obviously, with Dragoon, we potentially could, but it's mostly to stop the opponent from playing, and then we set our traps and get ready to go. So Droll was fine in that aspect. I had no complaints with Droll. And then I know this looks weird. We played only one Kaiju. This was the last minute addition to the side deck. We were at 14 cards. This was the last card because of Adignister. Shout out to my boy Ulysses. Adignister is terrifying with their what is it, Link 6 guy. Now I know Mystic Mind, you just activate Mystic Mind. They literally can't play under that. But this was also just to have this was also an out to ultimateness and just kind of any problematic monster. And we made it the win one just in case we came up against the barrier statue. So that's why we made it that. I know it's the most awkward card in the side deck, but it was there to cover a couple bases. And then just the back row hate was Cosmics and Duster. And I even have Order in here. This Order obviously looks out of place in this deck, but Striker, you need just a bomb card against that deck, so that's what this was for. It just never came up, but it was there just in case. And then best card when you're playing a back row deck, Waken the Dragon. So pretty standard stuff. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know I played a helmet deck. I'm going back to other decks soon. Now that the remote YCS is over, I definitely want to play some of the decks I was playing before. We have locals coming back, so I'm definitely going to be doing that a lot more and testing out new decks. You'll definitely have more content here on the channel. But shout out to all you guys for actually supporting me playing a deck like this. This is a deck that everyone knows I had a love-hate relationship with the longest time, and I've literally just come to embrace it, come to play it. And it's a pretty decent deck. It's definitely not the best deck in the format, but it's definitely a deck that give it time, let it adapt, and it'll surprise you. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and a special thanks to all my patrons. It's because of you, after all these years, I'm still able to make this type of content. Hopefully you guys will check out some of the videos that are suggested here for you, and just remember, you guys, it's not just a game, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for watching.